Hi, I'm Randy Lennon. Welcome to the holiday edition of Meridian Business Television. And we've got some nice Christmassy type surroundings here. And joining me as usual is Keith Turner, the President and CEO of Meridian Merchant Capital. Do a little bit of a year-end wrap-up and a look into 2012. Keith, what do you see going forward?
Well, let's try not to be the Grinch. Let's do the ho-ho-ho version. This is a time of year when people reflect. I mean, we do it in our personal lives. We should be doing it in our business lives. One year ends. Many companies have a December the 31st year end. So it's a time for reflection. Look back on how you did. But it's also a time when you're considering your opportunities as a business owner. And of course, along with that comes probably the need for capital of one form or another. Finance, human resources. So it is a good opportunity for business owners to take stock, to sit down and think about what they did right, what didn't come out quite like they expected, and use that to put into what, of course, we've talked about on previous shows, budgets, forward thinking. Is there an acquisition I might have? Oh my goodness, what money do I need to go and get? About those financials I'm going to have to deliver up to the bank in the new year. It's time for us to take stock.
Yeah, and I as a business owner, most of my adult life, particularly in kind of entrepreneurial type ventures, I think a lot of business owners are just pedal to the metal all year. And that break, you know, in the US, there's a big break around Thanksgiving time. In Canada, there's the bigger break is really between Christmas and New Year's. And, you know, what we have up here in Canada is Boxing Day. That is a time when you're around your family. But for me, I was always, you know, one time of the year for a few days that I wasn't around the office or around the business. And it was actually a time for some clear-headed thinking.
Well, unless you're in retail and then you are actually having quite the opposite, or hopefully quite the opposite, that's true. And you should take that downtime. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but we all know that business people tend to overdo it. And sometimes the energy they're expending is not in the right direction. So when I say about reflecting, that's part of it. Part of it is to say, what adjustments do I, as the business owner, the leader of the company, need to make going into the next year? Who do I need to help me make those adjustments? And how can I and the company be more effective in my relationships, in my sales, and everything that's going to make my business a success? Because after all, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a value to be left in my business that I can presumably realize one way or another when it's time for me to move along.
A good time of year to pull out the business plan, hopefully you have a business plan, and dust it off and maybe update it, see how you're doing against the plan. You know, major corporations do this as a matter of policy, as a matter of course, and there's annual, public companies are always looking at their quarterly results. I think sometimes smaller enterprises, there's no system set up for there to be evaluation and planning.
Well, we've always said at Meridian that we wanted to provide a Fortune 500 type service to smaller businesses. I think businesses themselves need to recognize that the way they implement and execute starts now. They're a small business now, and they may never be a Fortune 500 business, but the mentality and the ethics and the standards similarly apply. So not so much even dusting off the business plan. The reality is this is a time to think about budgeting. This is the time to think about your capital requirements. This is the time to think about, Bill down the street who's talked to me about selling me his business is not getting any younger. And so it's time to start to put those pieces in place so that when the pedal hits the metal going through into the next year, you're ready to do something about it.
Absolutely, and goal setting is something that's very important in our personal lives, but particularly if you own a business, it is a time to set some goals for the 4 quarters of 2012, but also for the next 2-3 years. Where are you going with your business and where have you been? With regard to 2012, just more on a general note, obviously as a person running a company that's involved in finance and working with companies in a wide range of industries, and also an international investment banker by trade, so to speak, you must be following the worldwide economic markets. And wow, it's been just an unbelievable, tumultuous time the last number of months, and of course the last 3 years. What do you see in 2012?
I think 2012 will have similar challenges, and with that, there will be the opportunities. Some people will get to buy businesses quite cheap. However, you know, countries that used to be said didn't go bust. Well, we've learned that they do. Banks, who are likely more leveraged than any client they would ever allow to be that leveraged, go bust. Yeah. And so we're all part of that world now. As we said in a previous episode, you know, our annual visit to our banker is no longer that. We're part of their world and they're part of ours. And so we both have to take that with a great degree of responsibility, because if we want to get some more money out of a financial institution, we have to be responsible, and they'll like us even more because they're now worried. They're looking over their shoulders too, not just because of their credit committees, but because of their job security and also because of their forward planning. They have got some challenges, and hopefully the businesses that they're serving actually have benefited from a little bit of stability, at least in some parts of North America. But parts of Europe right now, they could be looking at a more tumultuous 2012. Having said that, you know, there's still opportunity, and there's still reason that if you're alive and standing on two good legs, to look forward to 2012 with excitement and hope, but to perhaps put your best business foot forward for next year.
And as we wrap up the 2011 year, one thing I can say that all the analysts of sort of the macro business environment, and particularly in North America, I think you'd get agreement even from the Republicans and the Democrats. Everyone would agree that it's the small and medium-sized businesses, those private companies that are driven by entrepreneurs, that are going to be very crucial in bringing this economy back, certainly in North America. So for all of those of you that are watching Meridian Business Television, because that's who we're targeting, hopefully you're feeling the way we do, and the way I think that the whole business and political community in North America feel, that it's up to us to get this whole economy back on track. And having said that, we would like to wish all of you, our regular viewers of Meridian Business Television, we'd like to thank you for all the emails and texts and contacts coming back to us. Look forward to having you watching us. We've got a whole series of shows planned for the new year. And Meridian Merchant Capital, I'm sure you'd like to wish all of your clients and people involved with our company happy holidays. And
well, we couldn't do it without you, and you know, that's what we're excited about in 2012, is how can we help our customers, how can we help them move forward. And to your point about the smaller businesses, they always have been the lifeblood of the economy. But with so many people who have been let go from large companies, looking around and finding there are no jobs for them, they're taking their pension funds and they're starting their own businesses. And that will make them even more vital to the economy, and it's therefore even more vital that they get the proper support that they need to make their business a success, to make that economy a success.
So if you're in that category, we're looking forward to sharing more information with you over the course of 2012. We do invite you to engage with us through the website, which you're obviously on if you're watching this show. You can also contact Meridian Merchant Capital at meridianmerchantcapital.com. I've also started up a Twitter account. I don't know whether you're going to be, Keith, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Randy Lennon. And on behalf of everyone at Meridian and Meridian Business Television, we wish you all the best of the season and a very prosperous 2012. And we'll see you next week on Meridian Business Television, where business owners access capital.